jump to Ethan. Thank you for everyone. Quick reminder to everybody on the audience to send in your questions you have at www.slido.com. The event code is #.doe. We look forward to answering your questions at the end of the session. And we're going to hear from our final speaker now, Ethan Languri. He's as I said, director of Tennessee Tech, former assistant director, a long history of experience, and in particular, a great deal of focus on encouraging his students to really actively engage in the nitty-gritty details of research as well as applied energy efficiency. So Ethan, turn it over to you.
Hey, thanks, John. Hello, everyone. As John mentioned, I'm Ethan Languri. I'm a director of Tennessee Tech Industrial Assessment Center. I'm associate director in the mechanical engineering department. I have been assistant director or associate director, we call it at Tennessee Tech, for 7 years, and past 1.5 years I've been the director. And Tennessee Tech has been having the host of IAC for last 16 years, that I was part of it for last 8 years. Next slide. Well, let's just start by asking this question, why we should care about workforce development in this really particular case. Mostly we're going to focus on the student training. In IAC, just by looking at this Manufacturing USA publication, a study they did, that by 2028, there'll be 4.6 million jobs in manufacturing because of retirements, 2.7 million of it, as you can see on the kind of graphic on the right. And also because of national growth, we expect to get another 2 million. So over half of it, 53%, will be vacant because of the lack of skilled workers or a skill shortage in the US manufacturing industry. And that's why I just want to kind of use that to emphasize the importance of having a skilled worker, especially in the field of energy efficiency, that are familiar with manufacturing facilities and kind of the importance of it. Next slide. So overall, as John mentioned and other speakers mentioned, the IAC trying to go after two main goals. One, saving costs for manufacturers. So our goal is to go there, find energy saving opportunities, making 10 recommendations or so in a typical assessment, and we follow up, and typically they implement a little bit over 50% of those, and that's where they see an actual cost saving. And the other one is workforce development, which is preparing our students' future workforce as well as training the current workforce. I'm going to talk about those. But on the right-hand side, I'm showing a graphic we developed ourselves that shows how our IAC, Tennessee Tech IAC, handles those goals. And as mentioned earlier, each IAC operates differently than another IAC. So there is really a lot of freedom how to operate with IAC. And of course, we are trying to kind of answer those two goals, reach two goals. But in our IAC, Tennessee Tech, we focus a lot on decarbonization, cybersecurity. We're working on a cybersecurity team funded by NSF. They're helping us with like a specialized cybersecurity review for some manufacturers. We do a lot of water and wastewater, especially recently in recent assessments, and some others, as well as inside the circles, you see other layers that shows our partners. We work with CHP TAP, Combined Heat and Power, also through DOE. We work with our Tennessee Energy Office, Tennessee Value Authority, TVA, and any partners you see here, Better Building Better Plants, that we can tap into to help our manufacturers. So I just want to kind of emphasize that what I'm going to list here are how we have been doing over the past 16 years, especially the past 8 years I've been involved. Next slide. So this is a list of what I'm going to cover today. How we handle on new students, onboarding new students is a challenge. Imagine we have a students that just had been in school for maybe 2 years and they've never seen probably the STEAM system. and we are going to start the process in terms of training and have them ready for a real assessment and ask them to do recommendations, do the calculations, present the reports. Then I'm going to focus on how we handle our experienced students. We're talking about the students that have been doing this for years. We have a lot of students that have over 30 plus, over 30 assessments and report done. So how we can treat those experienced and experienced students. Then we're going to talk about how research has been helping us to even understand deeper, keeping up with technology. Technology is changing all the time. So how we can kind of make sure we understand the latest and the greatest and more, as we'll see in our last slide. Next. So onboarding new students is very fun, is a big part of what we do. Typically, every year we have around 6 to 10 new students into the program, and we lose some of them maybe, but we usually have a good retention rate in terms of keeping them in the program. So we do a lot of in-house training, which is nothing but getting together over usually a 5 p.m. dinner, and then we do a training either on a PowerPoint slide, or we do it in the lab doing actual kind of power measurement, or just using some equipment. So we try to do a lot, as much as we can, in terms of in-house training to make sure our students are kind of prepared before we head into we go into the manufacturing facilities, especially for the new students. We do a lot of hands-on, and by this hands-on, I mean we do training while we're doing assessment. So we talk about it in the office, but when we are on assessment, that's another level of training that we can actually do it and see it. And that's usually learned way better. And I remember when I was new into this program, we had others, my former director, Dr. Cunningham, showing me how to do it in a real facility. And of course, it's easy to remember those because they stick in mind. Last two bullets are support system and another one I'm gonna explain later. Support system, I mean to being available as a director or associate director for the students. So if new students have any questions, they know where to go. There are not layers between us. Let's call it a busy faculty that I have a teaching loads and I have other projects perhaps, and IAC and our new students. So I'm going to make sure my students know that they can always email me, text me, call me. So we have our phone number exchange, so it's easy to get to me with questions. So especially help the new students. And last bullet is being fun, flexible, and friendly. What I learned over the years is if the environment is not fun, students find another way to make hourly money or learn another topic. So in order for us to keep them in industrial assessment center, in our center, I'm going to usually make sure it's a fun environment. They are respected. They have a good relationship with our lead students, graduate students, and there is a friendly environment. Next. In terms of experienced students, that's another level. So we've talked about new students, but imagine those students that have been doing this for, as I said, 3 years, 4 years. A lot of our students are started as a second-year undergrad, and now they're doing their PhD, and they have been in this program. So we're talking about students that are very comfortable doing complex calculation in terms of energy saving when we have 13 air compressors communicating together, and how we can optimize those, or steam systems or HVAC systems. So in order to keep them involved and excited at the same time, we try to have a specialized training for them, so we can go deep on certain topics. Last year, I taught a course for the first time in terms of advanced energy conservation and conversion, that we had a group of students, 3-credit course through mechanical engineering department, just focusing deep on certain things such as nitrogen generation on site, or or details of process that we typically don't share those with new students or an average students. Also, through the IAC funding, we make them available to go to certain training outside and get specialized and certified as well. And also we can talk about what else they can do based on their knowledge and experience. On the left-hand side, you see a model developed on cooling tower assessment, existing cooling tower assessment, how they can save energy based on TMY3 data for any location that has been developed with 4 or 5 students over the years that has been doing a lot of cooling tower HVAC energy assessment, and they find a need, a gap to be filled. And here we go, we have a model. On the right-hand side, a group of our team has been helping Tennessee Valley Authority combined cycle power plant in Mississippi to become the first 50,001 ready energy management standard certified in the US. So we kind of utilize those expertise and doing certain things that keep them happy, involved, and excited. Next slide. We learned that doing research regarding IAC in terms of understanding the topic would help a lot. Of course, as a faculty, we are involved with research, but finding the challenges that manufacturing facilities experience in real life, and we see them firsthand, and having a conversation with the plant manager that, yes, this is a challenge. Like from the Cody's talk, first speaker, that he talked about a technical challenge. You can take those concepts, bring it in, and call it a dissertation, a research topic, or for an undergraduate case, it's a research, paid research experience that we take it to the lab. We do a lot of study, publish, and we compete in terms of awards as well. On the right-hand side, DVI is one of our students doing a test under a solar simulator using a porous layer to capture more energy and store the heat in the thin layer for faster evaporation and condensation. And on the two left side, we see Patrick and Spencer are presenting their papers and winning an award as a part of their research. Next. And we have to make sure we can keep up with the technology. So technology is changing. There are usually solutions new into the market that has been tested, passed through R&D. And now a lot of facilities, companies are offering those solutions, and there are seen results. So we have to make sure we are going through those trainings to make sure we're not missing from anything up to date. So here is a list of training you see on the right black box that we have gained over the past few years to be certified in energy, compressed air, and some other things. On the left, I'm gonna talk about, there are 2 platforms that are free, the training offered by energy.gov and DOE, as well as the Better Plants program that has a virtual in-plant trainings that I have the address on top of this as well. There are a lot of detailed technical resources available on these free websites that it's just a matter of how much time I would like to put to learn. Otherwise, recording videos for a 7-day course with a lot of details, all the resources are there. I myself use a lot of those in the past, and I would like to just bring that up. And next, and this is my last slide. Mentorship. IAC offers Women for Energy Efficiency group mentorship that we make sure our female students use that. We host, we sponsor senior design projects at the Tennessee Tech, starting doing it past year. And right now we're hosting 3 senior design teams in terms of idea, helping with research, sometimes with funding, and making sure we're engaging other parties in the community who are not heavily involved in IAC, such as TVA and energy office customers. I believe that's my last slide. Okay, Thank you so much.
Thanks.